Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So this was our first video. This is on EE Arts, and the one we're currently doing is going on Evolutionary. Again, make sure you're subscribed to all three channels. This was talking about a message from the Galactic Federation talking about, is humanity breaking free from the control system? What's going on? Is this, just simply military drones we're seeing, or are they interdimensional in nature, extraterrestrial? What is going on? Well, this is John Levy, and I make it a habit of watching his videos on Sundays when they come out. He puts out one video on Sunday. I just enjoy his way. And he digs up, a lot of unusual places, locations, structures. This is Heijin, China, and this is interesting because, what Cindy and I do is we'll watch this video and I'll ask her questions because I know she could pick up what happened to make this structure the way it is. I know she could read and see what the past was showing happened. And so while John is giving us all these observations and interesting things to ponder, Cindy could literally see what has happened in the past here with these particular places. Now, this fortress, so to speak, as you see, it's got one entrance over here going in. It's very unusual. It looks like it's a natural structure, but it's not. And John does a really good job in showing how, this is not natural. This is, again, the area that you're looking at. And, I'll link this video, of course. I know many of you guys are already subscribed to John, but again, interesting insights. This is an area that as he says, is mostly been scrubbed now. And there's fields, they're planting, they're wiping out the old history. This is what the control system always does. They wipe out the old history, and then they give us history in books. But the reality is, why did people build this brick entrance in the middle of nowhere? Well, this was a structure. The entire structure was made from bricks like this. It has been blasted with such a high heat that everything is completely melted and fused. It's even called a fortress, so to speak, in the textbooks, but it's not what people think. He also uncovers pyramidal structures nearby, and he uses an analogy because there are some holes in this structure, so to speak, that would have pulled air through and literally helped the fire breathe to a high degree, as you could see here. Why would people build a structure like this into a mountainside? Well, again, this is just part of the structure that literally survived thousands of years, and everything else is just basically melted and fused. And people will say, where's the evidence for aliens? Right here. It's right here. This is the evidence of just tremendous technology and space-based lasers and directed energy weaponry that we don't really have a clear idea of. But you can see what type of event thousands of years ago brought that type of high heat in. As you can see other structures here, you can see a turret. What was really going on here? Cindy picked up a lot of interesting information, as this guy was hired to go ahead and run a drone in this area because, again, people don't just go visit it every day. And so it's one of those areas, coincidentally, close to Tartary, that it holds our past right here. All this was melted.
Well, I think this is really interesting because the entire thing was what we would call a building, I guess. It was huge. It was just a huge monument, and it was made out of the land, and it was created in a way with technology that we definitely do not have today. This was a very beautiful age when this was in its prime, when it existed, when you could come across it. I see a lot of silver. I see a lot of silver on this building. But what really stuck out to me were the dragons. The dragons. This is a time where dragons were commonplace on the earth, and they did get along with the beings that were there. And I can't just say there was only humans here. There were several different types of beings, and dragons were just part of the land. It was part of Earth, and Earth does have this dragon type history. So I find dragons to be very fascinating. And what I really liked about the dragons is their color. There was white, there was silver, there was magenta, there was purple, there was pink. There were all kinds of dragons, all different sorts, sizes, shapes, and different beings as well. And not to mention the amount of silver that covered a lot of this structure. So this was like really a glistening, beautiful type of structure. If you were to see it far away, it would be we would see it now. If we saw it now the way I can see it in my mind, it would be absolutely impossible and magical. I mean, there would be no other way to describe this building. And I do believe it comes from a golden age or a silver age, possibly, because we've talked about the cycles of Earth since she broke off from Tiamat. It would possibly be, like, I would say, easy first or second cycle. This is an old structure. It is ancient. I call it ancient. So that's what I saw in there. It was just from a time that we don't really have the ability to perceive, but that's what I can give you.
And it's destruction. Like, can you describe what you see happening?
Great. So the destruction, what I see happening is a very, very bright light in the sky, not a natural light either. It's light, and it does heat up this area and bring about the melting, and then we have the years of weathering over that. So it was pretty much gone quickly.
So, not a sun sneeze, not some sort of solar emanation or a natural galactic energy, but a technology is what you sense.
I sense a technology, and I've seen the guides show me like showing a flame touching the sky, and as soon as those two elements come together, there's a flash in the area, and just nothing survives. So I think people mistake that. They think the sun is going to do that to us, and the sun is not going to do that to us. The sun is going to bring us into a different understanding and a different age, and into a beautiful age. It is the technology that has been doing this all along. Yeah. And then they put out there that, it's the sun flash is going to fry you. No, it's not the sun flash it's going to fry you. It's the technology. The sun is a natural element. We are made of the energy of the sun. So therefore the sun is not going to destroy us. The sun is only going to enhance us.
Yeah. The sun's going to free us, but they get us to fear it.
Definitely. That's what they do. The biggest natural item that is going to bring us the most evolution is what they get us to fear.
Yeah, and again, so, lather on the sunscreen, be afraid of the sun. Lather on the sunscreen because they don't want you absorbing the information. Light is information, which triggers your DNA, which reassembles DNA that they have disassembled in the first place. And so this is how the system is always getting us to fear the things that actually help us. They get us to think that the things that help us are hurting us.
Yeah, that's their MO. That's what they've done for a long time.
Is it possible that what was ignited in the sky looked anything like the funny clouds that we see today?
I think the technology is beyond what we see right now.
Yeah, they haven't shown us the real technology in play.
Nope.
So, yeah, this is absolutely fascinating to look at. You will find melted buildings like this all over the place. And you could tell that we are at the end of a dark age because there's so many people now that recognize these are melted structures. Cindy and I have held rocks from structures that were melted in the desert in the American Southwest. We've seen it. We've seen things that look like cement and concrete in areas that they were never supposed to have been used. The reality is, again, what we're watching is a reset after another reset by the real control system on this planet, which is not Homo sapiens. It's not Homo sapiens. And this explains everything that you see.
Right. I mean, there's just so much here. So it's good to absorb this information.
Absolutely. So as always, I'll put the link to John Levy. Other channels out there doing this too. There are many of them. My Lunch Break, Lucius Aurelius, and gosh, so many people now popping up that understand that our history is right there. It's right in front of us. It doesn't align with the history books. And it's because, again, it's not what we were told.
Source bless and namaste.
Namaste.